Welcome to Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
I'm Christy, and we're recapping Clayton's season of The Bachelor.
Hello, everyone. Christy and I are back for the 7th episode of Clayton Echard, right? That's his last name?
Yes, I believe so.
Not that I really care about his last name. I always only know these people by their first names anyways. Their first name and occupation, like executive recruiter and virgin.
I don't keep track of their occupations. It's too many.
I see. Well, before we get into this thing, anything from the world that we should know about?
I mean, nothing worth mentioning. I didn't make note of anything that happened this past week.
Okay. Well, then I guess let's get into this. Maybe we'll have a quick episode this week.
Well, I feel like this episode was better than the last few. I think we're getting to the good part of the season.
She says, like there is a good part of this season.
Well, it can't really get worse than Shanae, so.
Well, that is true. Well, let's get into this sucker then. Because, much to my chagrin, we're still putting the freaking rose ceremony at the beginning of the episode because Shanae ruined everything.
Yeah, well, we start off with Sarah coming back from her date, and she is very smug. I'm not a huge fan of, I don't know, just her whole, you can't take me down. It didn't work.
Yeah, I was starting to get a little bit of Shanae vibes here.
Yeah, not her best look. But she, asked the group who told Clayton that she wasn't ready, and Mara finally admits it was her, which I was kind of surprised by.
Well, you gotta take responsibility for your words. I guess let me ask for some clarification here. Because Sarah claimed this, but I didn't remember from last episode. Did Clayton actually say it was a last-ditch effort, or is she just being a poopy pants?
I don't think we saw that aired, so maybe Clayton said that to her and they just cut it out. I don't know. But I don't remember hearing that from Clayton.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering about that, because it didn't necessarily seem like something Clayton would say, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, their date, there was so much of it we didn't see, so I'm not sure.
All right. Well, and then just like that, we're at the rose ceremony at the start of the episode. Ugh.
Yes. We did see this interesting interaction with Clayton and Serene, where, if you'll recall, she talks about her cousin who died.
Right.
And the whole butterfly thing. And so production brought in these 2 mason jars that had string lights in them. I guess it was supposed to represent the fireflies, but I don't know. What did you think of that?
I mean, it was definitely a thing. I mean, it was fine. I guess I have a little bit of a tough time seeing something like that and interpreting it as the meaning that the show wants you to take it for, right? Because, like, clearly, like, at the very least, he didn't get that stuff.
Absolutely not.
Nah, yeah, obviously he's busy filming and making out with people and everything. Now, I don't know how much. Like, is it possible that he could have been like, hey, I want to do something to, like, remind her of, her cousin stuff that she told me. Like, I mean, maybe, but it seems most likely that the producers were just like, her cousin died. There was this whole, like, firefly, butterfly, whatever. Like, okay, can one of you run out to Hobby Lobby or Walmart or whatever and, like, pick up a couple mason jars?
Yeah, like, I feel like her response to that was a bit over the top, considering it was just a jar with some lights in it.
Right, but it's one of those things, like, I don't know, it's like, it's very, like, DIY, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a little strange to me, but whatever gets him some more makeout time.
Yes, he also chats with Susie and Rachel and just, more making out. And then Mara pulls Sarah aside and she has some gripes.
As much as Sarah's been annoying me of late, it's just so funny to me how Mara behaves. Or Mara? I've been confused because I feel like Clayton called her Mara, or somebody called her Mara on the show. So I'm a little less confident about how I've been pronouncing her name now.
I thought it was Mara, like marinara sauce.
Wow, that's how you think of her.
Well, I thought someone on the show said that though. I didn't come up with that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was from the roast.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought that's what somebody said. So, or maybe she even said it at the beginning of the season.
Huh. I do not remember that in the slightest. Yeah, she's just, like, really going all out on Sarah here.
Yeah, and it did not work. Spoiler alert. But yeah, she did not appreciate Sarah's last ditch effort comment. She thought it was insensitive and ignorant. She thinks Sarah is acting like Clayton is a trophy to be won, and she also says, "You're getting sloppy. Go back to a cute, quiet confidence." And it would behoove you to take a step back in your confidence.
That is so funny to me. It would behoove you.
Like, she's like talking down to her, which is, I would find that very aggravating.
Yeah, that is a little unfortunate. I just... Every time I see something like that, I just laugh. It's like, how are you just having so much fire under you that you're just like, how do you think that that's going to make any difference? Like, it's not to the lead or anything. Like, you're not affecting any change. You're just, like, complaining to somebody.
I think she's just trying to rattle her, probably. But Sarah already has a rose, so this was pretty pointless.
Nah.
And so, yeah, she goes home at the rose ceremony, and so does Eliza, who I feel like we didn't see very much of at all, unfortunately.
Probably part of why she went home.
Yep.
Yeah. So, was it just then Mara and Eliza who went home?
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. She just tried. She tried so hard, and it was all for nothing.
Yep, and so they now head to Vienna, Austria,
Which
is cool.
Actually a nice location. Just like, was it Estonia? Have they been in Estonia?
I don't remember the city, but Croatia.
Oh, Croatia. Okay, yeah. That's completely different areas of Europe.
And we find out Susie gets the first one-on-one.
Do you like Susie?
I do, yeah. She seems like a future bachelorette. She even looks like a previous one, Hannah
Oh,
B.
really?
Yeah. She just gives me that vibe.
Huh. How good are her chances, do you think?
I don't know. The edit she's getting would support that. I don't know. It just depends on if Clayton picks her or not, but she's for sure going far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would agree with you as far as her overall look. Because she's like, I'm sure, like, past, like, beauty pageant queen, like, I don't know, she just seems like the right formula overall, maybe.
Yes, she looks like if there was a machine to make a bachelorette, it would make her.
Wow, that's quite the comment. Yes, not too offensive in any way, you know.
No, very like girl
model,
next door.
Yeah, very
but also like really pretty, but not too glam.
Yeah, and nothing too out there either.
No, just seems like a normal girl.
Mm-hmm. So I want to get your thoughts here about this Susie one-on-one.
Oh yeah, the pretty woman date.
Yeah, go for it.
Tell
me everything.
They do this date like pretty often on The Bachelor. So like there's like pros and cons. The pros would be you get to keep those clothes, I think. Maybe not like the big fancy dress for dinner, but like the ones from the shop. So like that would be cool because then you could like resell them or something.
I love how that's your thought process. You're like, yes, I would just like get all of the clothes and then I would sell it after I got home.
Well, because I probably wouldn't actually want to wear them, like, but like I also would not like the Bachelor just staring at me as I try them all on.
Well, I mean, she was in. It wasn't like he was watching her dress.
No, but like just the whole like go in, put another dress on, come out, twirl, like, oh, I really like that one. Go back in, rinse and repeat.
You don't like modeling?
No, that especially on national TV.
Huh. Yeah, the thing that just cracks me up. Like, you see her coming with all the bags, and everyone's just like shrieking, like, "Yeah! Oh, I wish I had got to go on a shopping spree date." I'm pretty sure somebody specifically said that verbatim.
Yeah, Gabby was very jealous when she came back with all the bags.
And Christy's just over here. I wish I could sell all that stuff.
That's to me the best part. Or even if if you did like the clothes, then you'd have a bunch to wear. So
yeah, really a win-win, I guess. Yeah, I guess I would be interested to see the overall price tag of all of those bags.
I mean, she came back with a red bottom shoe, which is very expensive. So that stuff isn't cheap.
No, I know they're what, like Louis Vuittons? Is that what
Yeah.
the stupid famous red bottom shoes are?
Yeah, and
Whenever
also,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was like some fancy designer, so I'm sure it's all really expensive.
Yeah, they always got to get the Louis Vuitton shoe for the Bachelor shopping spree date.
Yeah, which I don't get the
Product placement. You wouldn't want a pair of Louis Vuittons?
I guess I don't care about the status of that brand. It's like, okay, it has a red bottom, it's a fancy designer, but I just don't, like, I just wouldn't care.
Yeah, but the guy who makes them he's famous. He's a famous French designer.
Yeah, but that doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather have like a really expensive shoe that's actually comfortable.
Excuse me. You don't know that his shoes are uncomfortable. This is slander.
They look uncomfortable.
Defamation. Yeah, I'm just looking on Google right now, and it looks like the absolute bottom of prices is like $750.
Yeah.
And going up from there.
Mhm. Yep, $700 for a pair of heels that are hard to walk in.
That's how much I've paid for all of my shoes across the last like decade. But I'm not fancy. I'm not fancy like these people are, you know. It's very yes, I guess I don't measure up, to be totally honest with you. Did you like the old fashioned ride they had?
Oh, the classic car? I mean, I guess that's cool. I don't know, I guess goes with the whole vibe of the date.
Yeah, just like, oh, we're all fancy in Austria right now. Yay.
Yeah, they went to this, like, huge palace, too. It's like, I wonder how expensive that was to rent out.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Or even remotely. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure that it was probably expensive, but I would also assume that they just rented out like 2 rooms of it.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty big. I'm not sure if that's like a famous Austrian museum or just like an actual palace. I don't know if you have any information on that.
I don't. It just looked like very regal and fancy, and Susie got this like fancy red dress to wear for the dinner part as well.
Yes, from the designer they saw earlier, who I mean, I literally have no idea who she is, and I do not remember her name.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either.
She's some allegedly well-known Austrian designer.
Yeah, I didn't have much written down about what they discussed at dinner other than that he wants to meet her family.
Mm-hmm. Pretty standard stuff at this point in the season, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I mean, she already told him last week she was falling in love with him, so there's not much more to say at this point.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then after dinner, some guy named Chris was playing the piano.
First of all, how dare you? Some guy.
Do you know who he is?
I mean, he's an actual, like, known, like, UK, like, musician.
Well, I guess you know more about these people than I do.
I mean, he just, like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess he was just in the area. They were like, hey, can you please come and play a couple songs for our people? Because basically the whole connection was one of his well-known songs is The Lady in Red. And so she had the red dress from the designer. It was this whole thing they planned.
So you'd
Sure.
heard that song before?
No, I hadn't heard it before. Well, I may have heard it before, but I'm not positive. But
was very, like,
I did research.
Pointed. Oh.
Is that so hard to believe?
No, it just seemed like you knew a lot about this guy.
Well, I was just curious.
Also, what was up with that weird, like, I love you whisper at the end from him?
Well, so here's the thing. That's part of why I looked it up. So, and this is also part of I don't know if you remember when we actually watched the episode, I kind of commented on how weird I found this whole scenario, and what I ended up finding out when I looked it up kind of confirmed that, which is that the song that he performed is basically like this song for his wife.
Okay.
Which, like, it's sort of like this love song to his wife, and how, like, that, like, she was wearing a red dress or whatever when he met her, and, like, all this, and so I believe that's why he at the end he, like, finished the song. He's like, I love you, because it was actually about his wife. But that's what I say at the time. It just, the whole thing felt weird to me, because it also felt different than, because we've had this date a lot this season. The let's go dance around and make out as somebody performs music. But it felt different to me, and it just sort of, it felt like instead of just, oh, they're just standing there making out to music, and maybe it's just that this was the song. I'm not sure what exactly made me feel this way, but it felt more like, oh, like this sort of environment right here should be like, oh, these two people, like, just got married and they're, like, dancing together, like, after the wedding or something like that, versus your typical Bachelor, like, environment.
Oh, so you're saying it felt too intimate?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the I love you whisper was very odd. Because, like, his wife isn't there, so he's basically saying it to Clayton and Susie.
I love you. Clayton and Susie. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know how they got him, because he allegedly has the net worth of like $50 million.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, it fits with the whole extravagant nature of the date, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, anything else you'd like to discuss about this date?
No, I think that's it. we find out Serene will be getting the one-on-one later. And everyone else is on the next group date. Which, boy, was this weird.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they meet a psychoanalyst named Catherine.
Which,
who...
can I... Sorry, I just wanted to say... So, like, they formed this whole idea. They're like, oh, we're in Austria. Sigmund Freud from Austria is the father of, like, psychiatry, or, you know, he was like this super well-known psychoanalyst, and even though, like, at this point a lot of people take issue with his ideas and everything, he's like the father of all this. And so they had to do a psychoanalyst date where you, like, dug through all this stuff. Can I just say how glad I am that the producers decided to go in this direction versus some sort of Hitler date.
Oh.
Because Hitler was Austrian as well, so...
Wow. Yeah, they did the bare minimum and did not go down that road.
No, I was kind of hoping they would, because I feel like at that point they might actually get the show canceled.
I feel like that would have not made it past the network censors if they had done that.
Probably not. But I was hoping it was finally the last straw for the show. But no, they're like, let's go in a safer direction. Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, so this psychoanalyst is like, we're going to unveil your deepest layers of emotions, fears, and anxieties. It's like, oh, here we go again with another therapy date. But this time, instead of a group setting, they each will have an individual session with Clayton.
Clayton and the psychoanalyst. Because
Yes,
that'll definitely be useful.
And Genevieve is not thrilled because she does not like therapy. Or has not gone to therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I hated it. Like, what was the point?
Christy's just like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this at all. It was literally the worst thing I ever saw.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, just people were on the internet were saying this is so not what therapy actually is, and it's just the fact that it's televised and like it's basically like 0 to 60, like tell me everything. Some people were like, is this person even a licensed therapist? Like, it's just...
Right, and that's part of the thing, is that, like, this wasn't actually therapy. She was, like, psychoanalyzing them, which, as I understand it, isn't, like, it's definitely not just, like, talk therapy, which is what people would think of. It's like it's kind of a different beast as far as I understand it. But yeah, this was obviously very, like, it was very TVized, if that's even a term that exists.
Yeah, we saw the first one with Gabby, and kind of she repeated the stuff she mentioned on her one-on-one. And Catherine just has just the brightest revelation, saying she needs a stable relationship. Then we had Teddy, who...
You could just tell that to everybody. Oh, you need a stable relationship. Nailed it! I should be a psychoanalyst.
And Teddy was just like, yeah, I'm more open than I've ever been. It's like, okay. And then we get to Genevieve. And this
Dun dun dun.
doesn't go well. Basically, she has nothing to say, which I don't blame her.
Christy's just like, I would have gotten sent home here too.
Yeah, like, all of a sudden I'm supposed to tell this complete stranger, like...
Christy, they've been together for like 3 weeks, okay?
No, the psychoanalyst.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were calling Clayton a complete stranger, and I was like, how dare you?
Well, they may as well be.
How dare you?
She hasn't even had a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And other people pointed out the last time Genevieve was with Clayton, he accused her of being an actress.
Right.
So, who can blame her for being a little hesitant to open up here? And so he has to talk to her in private, and basically he dumps her.
Yeah. Oh, it was so great having you here, but like, goodbye. Because I can't meet your family if I can't see inside your walls.
Like, what does that even mean?
Christy, you have to be vulnerable, okay?
What does he want? What's inside the walls? What does he want her to tell him?
This is Christy's very logical and concrete self. What is it that he wants from her?
Yeah, these people talk in like, I don't know, metaphors, and there's never anything concrete. But
Christy hates metaphors.
I mean, it's not like he liked her that much, especially compared to someone like Rachel. So it makes sense she would be leaving at this point in the season. It's just the reasoning was kind of crap, in my opinion.
You hear that, Clayton? Do better. Christy is disappointed in you.
Well.
Yeah. I don't have really anything to say about Rachel, but again, Sarah's just really piling it on.
Oh yeah, this was very interesting to me because Sarah is just so excited to be analyzed. She's like, I love therapy, super confident. I guess getting 2 one-on-ones will give you some confidence. She's like proudly mentioned that she was the first to get 2 one-on-one dates. And after the session, she's like, yeah, that went really great. But then, like, there was, like, this little, like, wrap-up session with Catherine. And she's like, yeah, not everyone was honest. Some people were performative. But she didn't say who, which was lame.
Oh, of course you can't. See, she was told by the producers to be like, hey, you need to say something that makes everyone uncomfortable to be around Sarah.
Well, at the nighttime portion, Sarah's like, yeah, I can't imagine who the performative one was.
No, it could have been anyone.
And Clayton is not thrilled to hear that there is still more drama. But he assures Rachel that she is definitely not the performative one. But then I thought this was interesting that Rachel said that Sarah came back with details about their date and said that Clayton supposedly cried.
About the
like,
therapy. Right? Or the
no, I think this was earlier on her one-on-one maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Clayton was like, yeah, that isn't true. And then...
And it's like, I don't cry. I'm a man.
And then Gabby, like, also kind of says like, yeah, Sarah's confidence is like causing other people to question their relationship with Clayton, like they don't have a chance. And then Teddy says like the same thing, like it's hard to be in the house just listening to Sarah talk about that. And I'm like, why haven't they shown us this leading up to this?
You mean Sarah's behavior?
Yeah, like I feel like this just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, was this just swept under the rug because of like all the Shanae stuff? Like,
Probably.
why haven't there was like no build up to this?
I mean,
really.
we've seen a little bit of it, but yeah, not a whole lot. Look, they haven't had any time. They've been just so dedicated to giving Shanae all of the screen time.
I just wish we could have seen like even like just a few seconds of it in the house, but
Sorry, Christy. Sometimes we don't get what we want, and we just have to deal with it.
yeah, and so it's now Sarah's turn to talk with Clayton, and I guess he brings up to her like what he's been hearing, and then she starts crying, and she's like, am I not allowed to feel good about us? And
No, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. I lost it when he was just like, I feel like you're like trying to fake cry right now.
I'm glad he was able to suss that out. But I'm also like, why couldn't you determine when Shanae was fake crying? Because I feel like that was more blatant.
Yeah,
But
Shanae
anyway.
was pretty out there.
And Clayton also says he doesn't believe her and can't move forward with her, and so he walks her out. Which this was a very sudden turn of events here.
I guess maybe he was just influenced by Shanae. The Shanae situation. Like, if this is another Shanae, not in my house, goodbye.
And then also because of all this drama, apparently he can't get the rose out tonight.
No, he can't do it. No group date Rose. They're all in danger now.
And so next we have like the shortest one-on-one ever. Like in terms of like screen time.
Wait, there was a one-on-one?
I mean, I feel like this is blink and you miss it. So with Serene, they like ride in a horse-drawn carriage and like basically just explore the city type date.
Have you ever gotten street chestnuts, Christy?
No. Surely you're not surprised by that.
Let me guess. You never would.
Probably not.
But this is the whole thing. I mean, most people don't realize, but chestnuts aren't just a Christmas thing. Street vendors in certain places will like roast them on the street. That's actually how you do it. You roast them.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Christy does. Would you buy street food or no?
Oh, depends on what it is, I guess. Like a food truck.
Yeah, just like a random food truck.
I don't think I have gotten food from a food truck before.
Seriously? Well, I guess that makes sense. You don't really frequent areas where they would be.
Yeah,
namely outside.
I'm not in big cities very often, I guess.
They're not just in big cities, but anyway. Yeah, did you find the whole dancing thing weird? Because I did.
Yes. Like, I guess they found a random old couple dancing in the street, and so then they start dancing, and then they, like, swap partners.
Found, allegedly. I think there was a casting call.
Oh, that's not far-fetched at all.
I mean, it's also possible that they just found them, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. All this manipulation, makes me sick.
Yeah, it was a bit strange.
Just a little bit. Yeah, and then everyone was like clapping for them and stuff. It's just like, what? Making me uncomfortable. I also feel like the nighttime portion was super quick too.
Oh, yeah, it was. They're at Belvedere Palace. And, like, she says her high school boyfriend was the last time she brought a guy home, and then all of a sudden, she's falling in love with him.
Christy, this is right before hometowns. You got to be falling in love with Clayton at this point.
It really felt like, I need to say this. It did not feel the least bit organic or, like, natural to me.
Of course not, Christy. It's the timeline. You have to conform to the timeline.
Yeah, like, was this date just, like, one segment? I feel like it was over in, like, 7 minutes. I guess they had to, though, so they could get to the rose ceremony.
Yeah, you gotta just zoom through. Because they're like, well, hometowns are next week. We can't have a rose ceremony at the beginning of the episode.
No. So, yeah, she got the rose on the date.
Surprise, surprise.
So, time for the rose ceremony, and Rachel shows up in a wedding dress. At least, like, from afar. When you look at it up close, the material was definitely not wedding dress, but the silhouette was just like, wow.
You gotta provide little hints here and there, Christy. You gotta be like, hey, I'm ready to marry you.
So Teddy went home, which was not a surprise to me.
No. I was not surprised either, to be totally frank with you.
Yeah, because Serene and Susie already had roses. He wasn't going to send Rachel home.
No.
So then it's just between Teddy and Gabby.
Yeah, and he seemed to have a decent connection with Gabby, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all she wrote.
Next week is hometowns.
What an exciting thing to look forward to.
Yeah, it seems like we're actually gonna go to their hometowns, so that's fun.
Wow. COVID can't keep us down forever.
I guess not.
Well, I guess we have the end of the season coming soon that we can all look forward to and hope for better seasons in the future
Yeah, this one is a bit of a mess.
that promote less apathy.
I don't know. I think the last few episodes will be interesting. Just based on the previews we've seen and some stuff I've heard.
We all know Christy's looking forward to that confession of love and sex with everybody.
I have to know what possessed him to do that. Other than
Christy,
producers.
we all know that Clayton isn't necessarily the best at playing the Bachelor game.
No, but that is just so over the top. But I guess we'll see.
We will. And last but not least, but also not last, we had 20 kisses.
Wow. He's stepping it up.
Well, you gotta make up for lost time. A bit of a slow start.
Gotta explore all options.
Emphasis on explore. How can people reach us, Christy?
You can email us at groupdatespod@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at groupdatespodcast.
One day people will contact us. Yeah. You have any last words?
No, just looking forward to hometowns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did think it was hilarious in the preview when Clayton's dad said he screwed the pooch.
I mean, I don't think it was the pooch he screwed. If you get my drift. Well, I guess we have some drama to look forward to. This has been Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. We'll talk to you next week.